Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, while we are waiting for parts for the Volvo, which is parked right there at the back now, we're going to be working on this Vauxhall Corsa, Opel Corsa 2008 with the 1.4 petrol engine. The complaint is that the car has a misfiring. Now, when I started the car this morning to move it to here, no misfiring, or I could feel something that was was nearly unnoticeable. I couldn't really feel the misfiring too much. No lights, no nothing. Then move the car here. 2 minutes later, engine light started to flash. That spanner light came on, engine light went off, and that light stayed on. So that's where we are at the moment. It is definitely a misfiring. Let me show you. You can definitely feel it now, or hear it. Not so much on the engine, but actually, let me open the bonnet. Let me open the bonnet so we can see this a little bit better. Where is the bonnet? On the other side. It's gonna open this. Oh dear. Okay. I'll show you the exhaust in the meantime. Hope you can hear it. It's definitely missing. And again, I think you can actually see here that it's missing quite well. It's missing quite well. Right. So let's gonna plug in the MaxiSys and see what MaxiSys tell us. Okay, so let's gonna quick do a auto scan. There we go. Okay. Recording failed. So this is 2008. It happens a lot on this on Vauxhall. So it's a Corsa D. Okay, so diagnosis. Let's gonna go straight to the ECM. There's no point to do anything else. It's gonna see if it detects the engine. Hopefully it does. So is the Z14XEP. 4 faults. Okay, present, camshaft, correlation, random misfire, cylinder, 3 misfire detected. Oh, camshaft correlation. Okay. Okay. Right. Camshaft correlation. Do we have a... Are we gonna have a bad... a timing problem on this? See if there's anything here. Oh dear. But we have an out code for cylinder 3 misfiring. What I was trying to see was if I have any misfiring counting somewhere. Invalid. 5 volts, don't know if it should be valid, but 5 volt reference voltage circuit 1. Do we have 5 volts missing somewhere? It's not gonna have nothing for misfirings. Let's see on the additional data list 2. nothing for misfirings. Okay, so now the car comes back to one misfiring. Let me see which one comes first. It might be the culprit of all the other ones. Boom, there we go. So that code comes back straight away. It could be that this code is actually causing the misfiring. So let me see what we're gonna do. Scope it, but first I want to see that voltage reference invalid. I want to see if I have hold on a second, let me see something. Let's gonna do a couple checks. Okay, so I'm ready to do a few checks, and the first check we're gonna do is gonna check voltage at the camshaft sensor. So it looks like this sensor is brand new, so obviously this has been at the part scanning already, I guess. So that's brand new, and what we're gonna do now is, let me place the phone somewhere here. Actually, let me put the phone, yeah, somewhere here is fine. Like that. Put it like that. You can really, I know guys, I know, I need to remove that, but so that's plugged in into voltage, the red lead. This one obviously we're going to check with ground first. So one of these pins is going to be ground. I'm not sure which one is. It's going to try to have 7 volts in there. That's nothing. 7 in there. 12 here, 1223. So I'm going to guess this is going to be my ground. Let's just double check with the test light. So test light voltage. So that pin should be my 12 volts. My ground, sorry. Oh, I can't reach down there. And there we go, 12 volts, so that's my ground, which is good. Now let's gonna check my 5 volts for the sensor. So let's gonna swap these around. Just hold a second. Okay, so ready, connected to ground. Let's gonna look for my 5 volts. It's going to be my middle, or 5 volts. Okay, I read 5 volts on both. Obviously one is not going to be 5 volts most likely, because it should be my signal. So let's going to check with my test light if we really have 5 volts, but we should do. Okay. Yeah, we do have 5 volts, so I want to show you in there. Look at the test light. Can you see it light up slowly? Okay, I don't want to leave it for too long, but it's definitely 5 volts in there. So all we need to do now is check my signal back into the ECU. So let's go and unplug the ECU. Make sure we have a good signal from here all the way to the ECU. All the wire is good, I would say, and then we'll go from there. Okay guys, and we might gonna have a bad ECU. I know, that quick. As soon as I unplug the ECU, I'm not gonna be able probably to show you. Although I'm gonna do my best. It's gonna be impossible now to show you this. Let me see. Hold on, let me try to put the flash on this. Okay, so let's try this again. I wanted to look inside the plug, right in the corner. Of the ECU. You see that? You see that? You see? That's oil. It is a common issue sometimes on this. The oil pressure sensor fails and starts to push the oil through the plug, and it goes all the way down up to the ECU. If I unplug this, most likely I'm going to have this full of oil. There we go. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, I guess well, it could have happened on that sensor as well. If that sensor would start to pass, it could have happened now, but this is quite clean here. Okay, so let's kind of remove the ECU and give it a good check. Okay, ECU is out. There's definitely signs of oil in there, no questions asked. Let me see if I can show you this. There we go, there's oil at the bottom. You can see on these 3 holes or 4 holes in the middle, you can see the first one does have oil inside as well. Now, there's this ECU, this plug has a contact between, or has a passage between here and the other side. This is one of those hybrid ECUs or whatever they call it. What am I going to do with this? Oh dear. What if this ECU is good and the car is actually out of timing? Let me think. Hey guys, here we have it. A good signal there. I can't remember now which pin was the signal, but either way, the next pin in the plug is the next pin for that. So it should be that one. There we go. And the other one, if I recall correctly, the blue one was my 12 volts. So that's all good. And by the way, A5, which is the next pin right at the bottom, is the pressure switch, which makes sense that the oil is in there. So my only thing now is, do we have a actually timing problem with the chain and the car is out of timing and therefore it creates that misfiring, or is the ECU that is bad? It's a little bit difficult to tell now, but I think my next thing is going to be probably scope the timing, see if the timing is okay. If the timing is okay, then we'll mic and blame the ECU, do a few more checks and go from there. Okay, I've raised the car and tried to get to the crankshaft sensor. Well, I actually did already, and I removed that little cap they have right between the plug and then the sleeve. I removed that. I'm going to try to back probe in there because it's impossible to back probe anything on this ECU. This is a really poor design in terms of maintenance and work on it. So I'm going to try to scope it there, and then the signal I'll take it from there. But more and more, guys, I'm inclined to believe it's the ECU. So I went through the diagrams again, and if you remember when I showed you the plug right at the bottom, that's where the oil was. And interestingly enough, in that corner is where this signal gets in, is obviously where the oil pressure is, where that signal goes into the ECU. And guess what other thing goes right there? The signal for the injector number 3. So it might just be a coincidence, guys, but you never know. Still, I'm gonna try to back probe that plug now and try to see if we can scope it. Okay, there is a little bit of glare, but this is my waveform, and I found a good waveform online for the same engine code, and I can tell you is out of timing. So I'm going to pause this and I'm going to try to see if I can show you this without. So I wanted to show you, for example, so the green is my crankshaft, and obviously the yellow line is the camshaft sensor. All I wanted to look at this is where the gap is on the crank, and you're gonna see that, you can see here on the yellow, there's that gap there that raises just before the gap on the crank, right? It raises in there, then 360 degrees before it raises in there. You can see there, and then right on this one here is this big gap here on the middle. Okay, now let's gonna see on the good waveform. As you can see, we have this gap here that comes down, as you see. So down and then goes up, down and then small up and down. So that's the gap here. So up, down, this gap here, up, down, up, and then long. But as you can see where he raises there, that should raise a little bit before the actually gap on the crank. So the engine is out of timing. Okay, and once the engine is out of timing, that's it for me, guys. It's not my problem anymore. I'm not gonna start to change timing chains and stuff like that. We got to the bottom of it, we found where the problem is. I'm just gonna tell him he's gonna have to do a timing chain on this if he wants to fix the car. But yeah, there's no, it's not gonna be a fix, but it is a diagnosis, I think. And I think that's gonna be it for this car, guys, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna put this here back in place because obviously it's still just hanging there. I haven't put the screws yet, but I just seen. So this car has been at the parts shop. The coil pack is new. Well, it's not new, but either has been manufactured on the 21st of August 2020, or if you want to look at the other way, on 20 of August 2021. It's a Bosch coil pack, so surely he hasn't been. Yeah, it's not the cheapest ones. The camshaft sensor 100% is brand new. I can see as well. Not really sure if he had any other bits, but these two things definitely has been done. So I'm going to put it all back together, but I'm going to wrap up this video because we're not going to do anything else to it. As I said, I'm not going to touch the timing chain on this. It's not my cup of tea, those jobs. But I'll tell him what he needs. He needs a timing chain done, and he's going to need oil pressure switch replacing. And that's about it, really. That should fix the problem on this. So with no further ado, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's something on here that you're going to find useful. If you learned something, maybe if it helped you to diagnose your own car, who knows. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions, any comments, you know how it works, guys, just put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.